Air is Tinkin Wiki for down for the cause, June people.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, he's breaking barriers back then.
I think the community has accepted him as a gay icon.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, thank you. Hey, man, he was breaking boundaries a little back then.
I'm surprised people didn't boycott that show. They probably did, actually.
They tried, yeah. They did. I was telling people like, hey, out of all the ones, I'm not fucking around with Poe and Tinker Winky, because Tinker Winky went through some shit.
Oh yeah,
because of having the bags and stuff. He had to defend himself.
He secured the bag.
Yo, yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of Mofos with a Long Podcast.
You already know.
How you doing today, my dear co-host?
Oh, I'm doing pretty swell. The Boys season 3 just started up. You know what I'm saying? So
how's that going?
I don't know if you fuck with the Boys.
The Boys hanging with the boys. Oh, did they play that for like a promo?
No.
Oh, is that too easy?
Yeah, that probably would have been way too easy. It already I was watching episode 1 and it already started off. I'm like, this is how you want to start off the season? You want to throw us into like the off the wall shit?
Oh, really?
Already.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Is it one of those I just have to go and check out?
You just gotta watch it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You gotta watch it. It's
I read Preacher. That's made by the same guy who wrote The Boys.
Oh yeah.
And that guy, he writes some crazy shit.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, Preacher, by the ending, I was like, Jesus, I needed a break. I don't know if you heard about Preacher before.
Nah, didn't they make a TV show of it?
They made a TV show, and out of all the networks to put it on, they put it on AMC. Like, I feel like that's if you read the comic books, I think that's like I don't think it would, if they do a 1-to-1 copy, it won't be made. Then 2, I think that's one of those you either put like on Showtime or HBO or some shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, AMC is the network that does the well, they did The Walking Dead at least, you know what I'm saying? So they're the network to at least give a comic book adaptation a shot.
From there, I mean, we're gonna segue to our movie that we're doing today.
Oh, yeah. That has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, but hey, The Walking Dead has to do with this though. Kind of. Yeah, kind of. So today we are doing One Cut of the Dead.
And you chose this.
Yes, this is a Japanese movie that came out in 2017. And I had no idea this movie existed until a couple of weeks ago when, like the day I suggested it. Mm-hmm. I saw on IGN that even though I talk mad shit about this channel, this website, I still check it out anyway. Because I've been doing this since I was a kid. And I guess they made an American remake of this movie.
Really?
Yeah, this came out a couple weeks ago.
Huh.
And they were reviewing that movie. So during that review, they had like, oh, this is the original. I was like, let me just see what the original is about.
What's the remake called?
The remake, I think it's called like either Final Cut or Final Frame. We could do it in post. We'll do it in post, yeah. And I read the premise. All I did was just read that it's a self-aware movie. Then I was like, let me go see how the Japanese is. Then I just saw the poster, and I had no idea what it's about, so I didn't even read into it, look at any trailer. I just thought the poster was kind of cool. I was like, okay, we haven't done a foreign movie in a while. The last one we did was Audition, and I'm still scarred from that shit. Not because it was scary.
Was that the last foreign one we did?
The last, I think so.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, and that was Japanese, too, and that was horror.
Ish.
Or it was not good.
I mean, I guess it was technically the horror genre.
Yeah.
Whether it was good or not, watch the review.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, so I just decided, okay, this would be a good, interesting watch and something to review. How about your history? Have you heard of this movie at all? Or?
No, I hadn't heard of it until you watched it. Until you watched it, until you recommended it. And then I sat down and watched it, and I picked up pretty quick on like what was going on. Because there's just some stuff
Mm-hmm.
within like the first 20 to 30 minutes that I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here.
So you could tell what was going to happen in the second and third act from the first act?
I mean, like, not all the way, you know, like not every single detail or anything like that, but there was definitely some hints dropped.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I guess because I didn't know what the hell I was going into, maybe we wanted to have to do this review in parts, because the first part, at least, I just thought it was a straight horror film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the posters and everything. And I didn't look into it at all. So when it starts, when it's supposed to be like a film within a film, it was like, it was so bad. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? You know? But I still appreciated it because, one, they legit did do that shit in one cut, in one take.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is impressive. But it was so like cheap and stuff. I was just like, the hell is going on here? You know?
Yeah. And that's what movies will do a lot of the times, like when they're making something surrounding making a movie, like the effects just like are totally you know, not convincing or anything like that. They're just like very, very cheap. And it's like, I think that's ways that movies and television kind of hint to you, like, this is a production that they're working on. This is not part of the actual story or whatever. And that was kind of the hints. Right away, the fact that they were doing the movie in a movie, it was just always in the back of my head, like, it's one layer deeper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, it definitely took me off guard. I guess we kind of explained the movie that they're filming. So they're filming like a zombie film, but in the midst of that, it's supposed to be the filming of a zombie film, and I guess there was supposed to be some sacrifice that happens in the location that they're on that unleashes some zombies, and we're following. I can't remember the characters they play within the movie, but I could say like we're following Ko, who's the pretty boy. Chinatsu, which is the main female lead, and now, which is who's supposed to be the makeup artist.
Yeah,
and the director, what's his name? Hirogashi.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, the director, and we're just kind of seeing them in this whole, like, I guess, zombie premise. They're being attacked by their own crew, and there's some confusion because they were filming a zombie film, but in the midst of that, they get attacked by, air quotes, real zombies. Yeah, and we kind of see them try to, like, I guess, escape from the situation, but through that we see some like hijinks and kind of some goofy shit. Yeah. You want to touch on anything?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, so you see some stuff that kind of like makes you question, like, like there's like a very awkward moment where they're just kind of like sitting there in their little like you know, the cast chairs or whatever, and the makeup artist is kind of like doing some padding, and then like they have like nothing to say, and they're all just kind of like staring at each other.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you have any hobbies?
Yeah.
And they're like, hobbies? That's a random question. And it's like, oh yeah, I can do pump.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that became like a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Throughout the rest.
That's like a recurring thing throughout the whole movie.
Dude, I mean, we're just jumping around, right? We're not doing chronological.
Nah, fuck it. Let's just jump around. Fuck it.
Okay. So, like, I didn't realize my first time watching it, but the second time around, when you watch the first go through of like the actual production, you can actually hear, you know, the part like towards the very end of their production.
Yeah.
You could actually hear her in the background going, "Pum!"
Yeah.
Pum!
Like when she was fighting the crew trying to take her down. That was actually a really good touch. Yeah, and when you go back and watch it again, it's audible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, I guess, it kind of explain how I feel about this movie. It was fun, at least the whole movie.
Yeah.
Especially the first half, even though as goofy as it was, it was just there was so many stupid shit happening that I could see. It threw me off guard. I could see it throwing off other people off guard, but because I'm into this type of shit anyway, I was having fun with it. Mm-hmm. I could see somebody else like, what the fuck am I watching? You know, and turning the shit off. But if you survive past the first 37 minutes, mm-hmm. you'll see there's more to this movie.
It becomes just like a comedy.
Yeah,
at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny.
Mm-hmm. One thing I wanted to say real quick is like I find this interesting in movies. Uh-huh. I don't know how they do it. They also it reminded me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Have you seen that movie? Mm-hmm. With Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like
with the feet.
Oh, the feet. Oh well, yeah. You know, we got our boy Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. Him and Dan Schneider, man. Don't put them in the same fucking production. It's game over at that point.
The whole movie's just gonna be feet.
Yeah. You'll feel defeated after that movie. That's for sure.
Defeated.
Yeah. But I always get fascinated whenever a movie is supposed to, follow actors, mm-hmm. and the actors are supposed to be bad. It's like, how do these actors channel like being a bad actor? I always find that interesting.
Yeah, that's mm-hmm. And I was actually thinking that while I was watching it. I was like, for this type of production, you kind of have to be a really good actor. Yeah. Because you have to be a good actor, mm-hmm. pretending to be a bad actor, and then pretending to react to the stuff that's happening on set. Yeah. So it's like you have to be really fucking good. Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's going to be a difficult feat. I mean, just production wise, Mm-hmm. And one thing I really liked about this movie, or I actually thought about as I was watching it, was you. Because you were into like the film world, mm-hmm. and it takes, it kind of talks about production and stuff like that. I thought you would appreciate that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the first 37 minutes, it's just a really bad like B movie horror shit. Yeah. With definitely some bloopers for real. Uh-huh. Yeah. With now, one of the ones that definitely like confused me was when she was supposedly dead.
And then she pops
up. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And she's like, yeah. And it just like falls over. I was like, what the fuck?
And it just kept rolling after that.
Well, because like, okay, so after their production's over, we see the 1 month or 1 month ago. Yeah. Like time jump back. Mm-hmm. The production that they approach him with, like, mm-hmm. honestly, to me, it makes no sense.
You mean like the
fact that they want a live broadcast mm-hmm. of a zombie short mm-hmm. that is all one cut. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's supposed to be a film within a film too.
Yeah.
The premise.
Well, forget the premise. Mm-hmm. The fact that you want a show done mm-hmm. that is live broadcast. Mm-hmm. Like, it's at that point, because I used to do theater acting as well. Yeah. And theater acting is an art form where if something goes wrong, mm-hmm. you just have to keep going. Yeah. You have to find a way around it. You have to, like, just power through because the audience is watching you. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been through some really bad, like, bloopers situation? Or experience?
I tripped really fucking bad.
Oh, damn.
We were doing... what was it? Huck Finn, Big River. Mm-hmm. And there was kind of like a makeshift, not necessarily like a railing system, but kind of just like blocks of wood to kind of help guide this raft thing. Yeah. On the stage. And there was a scene where I was supposed to be coming in and telling them some news or some mm-hmm. shit, and I fucking like tripped over one of those fucking blocks, but I just made it kind of like look like I was like tripped because I'm running in like in urgency.
Oh, okay, good save.
But yeah, some shit like that. There's other shit that like just happens and you gotta fucking like go with it. Like people miss their entrances and shit like that. And it's like,
yeah,
where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
You know, just like.
But yeah, you were talking about the production and the premise.
Yeah. So it's like, at that point, it's got the same feel of like the show has to go on no matter what, and especially if you're televising it, right?
Yeah.
Because like you've got no room for
error.
For error.
Yeah.
Everyone is gonna see that shit. It's not like a play where you have another performance you can do the next night and then just make sure you nail it that night.
Yeah.
It's like one and done. It just makes no sense because you can't do any like sound effects in post or anything like that. So it like that premise to me just didn't make any sense, but it did make room for all of the comedy that happens.
Yeah.
So I just kind of went with it. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Like in a real world sense. It's too much of a feat to try to pull off.
She even says like the I guess it's like the not the marketing, or is she the marketing head? What is she? She's some executive for the company.
Yeah, I can think of the specific role that she plays.
The one that comes to him and basically lays it down. She says these are the two hot features.
Yeah.
Is one, it's going to be a live broadcast, and two,
one koto.
Yeah, one kato.
One koto.
Yeah, and he's like, one kato?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because like certain words, like they just, English, but like a Japaneseified English.
Japaneseified. Gee, that just sounds funny.
Well, like there's like Spanglish, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I'm actually in the process of learning Japanese right now. And yeah, there are some words that are like straight like Japanese, and there are some words because it's foreign to Japanese. It just sounds like, like you said, it's English, but just kind of. It just kind
of. I could have said that better. Maybe Japanglish.
Yeah. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
We're about to get canceled.
No,
I already know.
No, you're good. You're good. Don't cancel my man's right here. But I know what you mean. It's like if a word is foreign to Japan, they will just pronounce it, but they'll pronounce it with like a Japanese accent. Yeah. Like SpongeBob. Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. So just SpongeBob. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's weird too because there are some words they already have like their own word for, like milk, for example. They have gyunyu milk, but there's also sometimes I've seen like anime or stuff they'll say miruku, and that's milk too.
Milku?
Yeah, miruku, because it's just how the alphabets are. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of shit. Japanese is very difficult to learn, but it is a fun language. But yeah, like you, I was thinking about the premise when they proposed the premise to the director. I was like, you guys better pay this man because you guys are asking him to do some crazy shit. Just one take, And it kind of reminded me of you compared to a play. I guess it shows my interest. I think of it as like a wrestling show because a wrestling show is basically like a soap opera for men that you with stuntmen, and you have one shot. Say you have your cues, you have to go, and you just. If you fuck up, which they call like a botch, you just have to keep doing it. Just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, wrestling is like a big televised play.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's...
Has a storyline and everything.
Yeah, and if something happens, like... I think the big one for for me, at least, while I was watching was when... Brock Lesnar suplexed Big Show.
Oh yeah,
off the top rope,
and the ring collapsed.
Yeah,
that was actually done on purpose.
Oh, was it done on purpose?
Yeah, to make it seem larger than life.
They made that a big deal because I thought that was real.
Oh yeah, I thought it was real too.
Because they even like the paramedics were coming out and all that.
Yeah,
shit.
they did a good job of that one. But botch actually with Brock Lesnar was his big ass. Was doing like an acrobatic move, which surprisingly he used to do back then. It's called a shooting star press. It's like a backflip, but he's going forward. I'll send you the clip.
Like a backflip gainer?
Kind of, yeah, kind of. And he's landed it before, which is a feat for a guy that fucking big. But one time during WrestleMania, wrestling Kurt Angle, call me Kurt Angle, he fucking does it and lands on his head. And knocks himself out.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I think he just got lucky he wasn't paralyzed.
Damn.
Yeah, and Kurt Angle had to think on his feet and try to keep the match going.
How did he do that?
It's I can't remember at the moment, but just something they just had to keep going. Like it happened to Stone Cold as well. Stone Cold got his neck broken by Owen Hart in the middle of a match, and to save that, Owen Hart had to save face and it was yelling at the referee and the crowd and showing off, and you could just see Stone Cold just with zero efforts, lazy, just kind of roll the guy up. And they counted 1, 2, 3, and they got the medics to come and take him out and shit like that.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Those guys, they work hard, man.
Yeah.
That is not a fun job.
Is Kurt? I know we talk about Kurt Angle all the time.
No, it's okay.
Stupid comic Kurt.
Yeah.
Is he still in it?
No, thank God.
Okay.
Yeah. He's done. He should. Yeah. They called him because he was doing so much drugs. They call him Perk Angle.
Oh my God.
But he's been done for a while now.
He seemed like he was just about that wrestling life and nothing else.
Yeah, he was. But let's not get into wrestling talk. But let's kind of I guess bring it back to this movie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so when it switches to the production aspect of this movie, that's where I found myself having the most fun. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking about this is kind of behind the scenes, breaking the fourth wall type of shit. I was thinking about our early days, especially the Justice League episode.
Oh, yeah.
Of when shit was just going on fire, but we were, and it was just super ghetto, and we just had to find a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I as I was watching it, I just kept thinking about you, and I was thinking somebody who's into film and most likely done some film production. I'm pretty sure these are things you've experienced before. Mm-hmm. And as you were saying, the play is something that you've experienced it while doing some plays in theater.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, I mean, I haven't done a lot, but I did 2 shorts that are on YouTube somewhere. I might link them. I might not.
Yeah, you should.
I don't know. They're nothing to be proud of. But yeah, they had their own unique set of challenges too, with the actors and stuff like that, and limited props and stuff like that. Because I'm just a dude, you know. I don't have money to shell out for a whole bunch of fucking,
Hey, Robert Rodriguez, he does it. He found a way into Hollywood. You have to start somewhere,
That's true. Mm-hmm. I'm a Robert Rodriguez my way into Hollywood.
Hey, I mean, you're already in Texas.
Oh, is that where he started?
Yeah, I think he's from Texas. I think Austin.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get in touch with him.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah, actually.
Let's do something.
Let's do something. Then you can get in touch with Quentin Tarantino from there. Since they're best friends.
Dude.
And that's how you back through your way.
If I could be half as good as Tarantino, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your goal.
That man is.
That guy's insane. I'm glad he's into film.
He I don't know, when you watch a film, like a Tarantino film, it's gonna be good.
Some shit. Yeah, it's gonna be some shit. I will admit, I'm not the biggest fan of his most recent flicks, but I can't say they're bad.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. I would say too with this movie actually, during the production is where they try to set at least some plots and with some characters.
Yeah.
Like the director, him and his daughter seems to be kind of they're not so close. They're kind of separated. There's a drift.
Well, she's leaving to do her own thing.
Yeah, but you can see she doesn't really. They're not as close as they used to be when they were kids. Because when she was a kid. Because if you notice, when she was reading the script for One Cut of the Dead, the moment he comes in, she leaves, and it was very awkward. And if you notice too, when he was trying to make himself cry, he was using pictures. The director, he was using pictures from back when she was a kid to force emotion to start crying. Because if you notice too, because when she was talking to the producer was like, "Hey, you look up to your dad, you want to see your dad work," and she wasn't even paying attention. She was just enamored by the crush that she had. Yeah, and when the dad went and blocked the crush, she's like, "Oh, get out the way," type of shit. I think that's why at the end when she brings a picture, that's why it was a big deal because
Okay. Yeah,
going
no,
back
I see
then.
what you're saying now. I don't think he was trying to make himself cry, was he?
Yeah, he was.
He was?
Yeah, he was practicing how to cry.
Oh, but he didn't know he was going to be in it, though.
Oh wait, maybe he was legit just crying. No, because I think the reason I think he was practicing how to cry because he was like crying. Then his wife came in, and she's like, "It must be hard." Then he just like stopped immediately.
I think she was talking about like letting go.
Oh,
of,
okay.
Of her, yeah,
I see.
Because initially he wasn't supposed to act in it.
Yeah,
at all.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
supposed to direct it, which is
Okay.
like, it also didn't make sense that they wanted him either, because like if this is gonna go on the zombie channel, which is like, don't get me wrong, I love horror movies and shit like that, but
Yeah.
like, how are you gonna have a whole like streaming channel dedicated to just zombies?
Some people like the zombie
I
channel.
fuck with zombies, but
Yeah.
like,
Some people, I mean, the people are still watching Walking Dead.
I'm still watching The Walking Dead, but it's just like, let this shit go. You
Yeah.
did not need to break it into 3 damn parts for one last season.
Yeah.
Just let it die. I'm just trying to finish it so I could say I stuck with it the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
a feat for you.
it is. Like, I'm just like, God damn.
But yeah, you were saying something about the zombie streaming channel.
Yeah, no, like, well, so why did they pick him? His motto, that like everybody in the industry seems to know, his motto is that he's cheap, but he's average.
Maybe that's why they picked him, because he's cheap.
He's,
Yeah, you know.
I guess.
Because they're going to get the 2 hotter stars, right, in this movie. That's already lots of money to shell out for these people, right?
But why wouldn't you get a hot director too? You know what I mean?
Because you blew your wad on these 2 actors.
On these two-
And that's what I'm guessing. I know what you mean. I'm also trying to think of it like think about what's it called? Willy's Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
You blew your money on Nicolas Cage, man. Yeah. You couldn't get fucking special effects and all that shit. You
They
know
didn't
what I
have
mean?
money for anything. Fucking
Yeah,
else,
after
dude.
that. But I know what you mean. Like, why not just get state of the art everywhere to try to, like, I guess, promote this whole shit that you have going on that's supposed to be like a whole event.
Yeah. Speaking of Willy's Wonderland, I actually watched a lot of behind the scenes while I was editing,
Yeah.
and that was actually a bigger production than I thought.
Oh, really?
A lot of it was soundstage.
Okay. Send that shit to me.
Okay.
I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find what I was like. I was like over multiple videos because like different crew members and stuff have different like behind the scenes
Okay.
videos that they were posting.
That's why I like this movie too. I'm really interested in, like, I think for us, we're so used to seeing films, we know the plot lines and shit like that. I find production just as interesting as movie now. As like, I like seeing how shit was made, like, you know, like crazy tricks that they have. Then you find out, like, oh, that's how they did it. You know, and I think that's really cool, and I think that's why I really enjoyed the production part of this movie, just seeing how things work and seeing how, oh, that's why that guy was reacting that way. Like, what's it called? The guy who had diarrhea. Was it Yamago or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
You see why, like, in the original cut, he was acting weird.
Yeah.
But then you see in production, like, this man's about to shit himself. That's why he was acting strange.
Because he's like, when he's talking about like all the curse and everyone's like freaking out, like, how could you bring this to the cursed location?
Yeah.
He's just sitting in the back, like,
Yeah. I really like during the production, like the early production when they're doing their first read and everything. He's so particular, and he's like, "Hey, I need is this soft water? You know, I sent the email. Was it soft
yeah,
water?
he needs soft water because hard water gives him diarrhea.
Yeah.
And then like the whole thing about I thought was funny that it actually ended up happening because they were talking about cutting out the throw up.
Yeah.
A zombie was supposed to throw up on her in the script, and she's like, "My agency won't let me do it." She's
Yeah.
like, they're like, "But it would be fake throw up." She's like, "I know, I know. I would want to do it. I'd like challenges as an actor, but my agency won't let me do it." And they're like, "Okay, we'll cut it out." And then like later on, because he had drank the hard water, he just like threw up all over her.
But she dodges that though.
She has some in her hair.
Oh, okay.
You can see it. I was like, oh, God.
The agency was watching that shit, dude. Fucking stressed out.
And then the fucking, what is Hosoda?
Hosoda. Oh, is that the one with glasses?
Hosoda.
Hosoda, the one with glasses?
No, he's the
shaking hand.
The shaky hand. Yeah. He threw up on the the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, like for real, dude. That shit was so gross.
Like his reaction for the production was actually genuine.
Yeah,
like,
that dude was in tears, man. But yeah, even him, the guy with the shaking hand, Hosoda, you see that he has a condition with his hand, or just I guess with his hand, right?
Well,
like
because he's an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
His hand shakes whenever he like is getting an itch for drinking.
I thought it was like vice versa. Like his hand shakes, so he uses alcohol to try to subvert it. But I think you're right. And I think he challenged him, so he tried to use his daughter as a way to stop it, but that did not work.
No, he got loaded right before they started shooting.
Apparently, I read somewhere like that guy was legit drunk during the filming.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I don't know if he Daniel Day-Lewis the shit that do method acting and just get drunk for the part, or he just fucked up. It's like breaking the sixth wall or some shit like that. But you got to see why he was acting the way he was, because during the production, Hosoda was acting very weird as a zombie. He was out there doing fucking Power Ranger poses as a zombie.
Oh yeah,
you remember
he
was like doing all that shit, and you see why, because this man was gone.
One of my favorite things is like the director kept like popping up. And action!
Yeah. He's like super exaggerated and shit like that. Yeah. Just cursing the girl out like attack the bitches and shit like that. Like, damn, dude,
this is motherfucking great.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Yeah. Speaking about was it Yamago, the guy with soft water? Mm-hmm. One thing I like that he kept doing, like that was recurring. He was like, I sent an email. I sent it via email.
Oh, yeah.
And he would like get up close to somebody, like that one girl he was tormenting throughout the whole production. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, I need to know where the toilets are.
I sent the email.
He sent an email. But you want to add anything?
Oh, yeah, because he couldn't use the porta potty for some reason.
I think he just wanted to know where the toilets are at. And she was like reassuring him, like, there's going to be porta potties.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, okay, I need to know where and when they'll be there.
And then he ended up just like shitting in the grass.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't have time. Just throw the makeup on him now.
Yeah.
So they got to put the makeup on him while he's shitting. I was like, oh my God.
I don't know if those people got paid for this production. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you want to talk, say anything about this production part?
The production part, like, it's just all over the place. It's like so great. And like little things that were off when you were watching the actual, like the final product, like it all made sense. Cause you're like, something's off here, like right here. And later on, like they just go and show you everything that happened. And it was just like, there's a couple plays like it. There might be other movies and stuff like that where like they're doing the production, just like everything goes wrong, like everything that can goes wrong, just like goes wrong, and it's just like, damn, that's exactly the feeling of this movie. Is like every single thing that could go wrong, and like stupid little shit, like the wife gets too into the role.
Yeah, with her pawn and just starts like kicking people's asses and shit like that.
Yeah. And it's like, well, because she wasn't even supposed to be in there. The only reason she was there is because the fucking the director and the makeup, or
the original director, actor to play the director.
Oh yeah,
and the original makeup artist.
Yeah,
they're having an affair.
They were having an affair, and then they got in a car wreck when they were on the way to the production.
Yeah,
and so he had to hop in.
The hints for I didn't get the hints at first for the original actor for the director part, and the original actress for the makeup part. I didn't get the hint that they were, involved at first until my second viewing, because I don't know if you know, like during like one of the readings in the pre-production, like the way he had the camera towards her and she was like on her knees and stuff. I was like, that seems kind of fucking weird. I don't know if you remember that scene. It was like a very quick cut they did.
And it was while they were doing a reading?
Yeah, while they're doing the reading outside. They were kind of outside, kind of planning the shit out. You could see him have the camera, and he's like looking at her, and she's like just reacting kind of shy and stuff. Then he's like telling her, get on your knees, get on your knees. And you have the camera, like showing her face.
What?
Yeah, but they didn't stick on it. It only lasted like 5 seconds.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
I was like, damn, that's kind of weird, man. I'll try to send you the time clip for that one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, because I just knew because they said it while they were in, because they have the production shack.
Yeah.
Where the people that are in charge of like the broadcast are stationed, and they were in there. And they said something about like they're both out.
Yeah.
What were they doing in the same car? It's like I think they were having an affair. It's like, oh, okay.
For other people, I think one of them was confused, but for everybody's like, yeah, it's obvious they were having an affair.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie with the whole Mr. and Mrs. Smith shit.
Oh.
That people just kind of knew something was going on because they're trying to keep it on the wraps. Mm-hmm. Then the news just broke out, and they were banging. So
That just seems like you can't date nobody out the low.
Oh yeah.
If you're like a star.
Nah,
everyone's trying to get pictures of you and your thong or whatever.
Just specifically that.
Yeah.
Even if you're a dude.
I'm a leak all my nudes ahead of time.
So they can't blackmail you?
Yeah.
Yeah. They can't fuck you up if it's already out there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other things in the production parts. Yeah, I think we're just kind of talking about it. It's just everything that could go wrong was going wrong. I'm trying to think of other characters. The guy that was the cameraman and I guess his assistant, that was a fun little thing that was going on too between them.
Yeah.
Because, you want to talk about that part?
Yeah, the fucking, like, she was like, you should do the zoom in, zoom out effect. It's like, that's super cheesy. She's like, but because it's cheesy, it'll look cool.
Yeah.
And then so, like, they had a part where, like, he's supposed to be, like, running, chasing them. And then he like falls over and like just I don't know what happens. He like goes into shock or something.
Yeah, it seems like he just passed out.
And then so like she picks up the camera and just keeps it going. But then she starts doing her little like zoom in, zoom out that she wanted to do.
He's just like some kid that just wants to try some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Even before that, I really liked their dynamic because you seemed like two arguing couples or like siblings. But there was a part, this is why I even did the reading for the movie, was, remember the part after they kill, is it Yamago, the diarrhea guy? And he's running away. He's running with them to like clean the camera and stuff. And remember, he was cleaning the camera out of blood. And she ran. And when you see in production, she handed him the towel. The way she slips looks like she legit fucked herself up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you remember, like it looks like she legit slammed her head on the ground and she was dazed for a little bit. And I was like, did she really slip, or did she mean to do that, or?
We got one of those.
What?
A towel. For like specifically for cleaning the lenses.
Oh, okay. But I'm just saying, like,
we never use it.
We don't need to. Hopefully not.
Oh, we're gonna go back and see a big ass like grease stain.
That'd be nasty as fuck, dude. Eat some pizza or start doing production and some shit. Then like just smear the fucking camera.
I don't know, man, because like I'd be snacking while I'm editing, and I was like, okay, it's time to take the files from camera B or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? There's probably some fingerprints on there right now.
Don't tell the cops like CSI type shit. They got, if they need your fingerprints, they could just
take it off the camera lens. No, I'll wipe them down eventually.
But I'm trying to think of other things. If you have any other thing to add onto this movie.
Everything is just like goofy little moments. Like the one part that like didn't make sense either in the production. Well, yeah, the final product was like the zombie that like you only see the thighs.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that.
And then like goes away. But then you see it's because like they're holding the card that's basically saying like, go ahead and grab the axe that's outside of the shed or whatever.
Why didn't it make sense to you?
Oh, because like obviously from like right there, the zombie could like look down.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, there's a person.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't hiding behind anything that would have hit her.
Yeah, it's almost similar to me that too. Like for me, I was like, first, how did they get the makeup on just the legs only? You know, like that guy, was he just super ashy or they just do some shit on there? Man needs some Johnson and Johnson. But so like you, she wasn't very well hitting, so it doesn't make sense why I want to attack her. But I was like, okay, if you want to act like she's hitting, okay. The camera person should have been attacked because in the middle of the production, they've established that that camera person is a real person, right? Because remember, when Yamago goes out to go shoot himself in the production, the final product, the director looks at the screen and says, keep rolling.
The thing is, I don't think he's supposed to be.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like,
I don't think he's supposed to be, but because shit just kept going wrong, they had to like legit tell the cameraman like keep rolling.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Like, was it because of the way the movie just is? Was it like him just telling the person to keep rolling, or was this supposed to be a character within the movie itself? Because remember, it's supposed to be like a production, right, in itself.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that the cameraman is supposed to be
part of the
like a character
okay.
in the production. No, wait.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's supposed to be a production within the production, right?
The only argument I can see for like yes, definitely, is the ending. When like camera's lifting up.
Yeah.
Do they have some? I can't remember like if the cameraman like reacts to being like lifted up or something like that by powers or whatever.
Oh, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I'm just trying to think of other things I might have, because the obvious wiping. I was like, okay.
I think that was because the lens wasn't supposed to get dirty in the first place.
Maybe I'm taking this shit too real then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we can go look it up.
Yeah.
You know, for post, and I'll clip it in here. But I don't think the cameraman was supposed to be a character.
Okay.
I think it was just supposed to be like a omnipresent.
Okay. Then that I guess I can't complain about this part, because I was like, that camera person is not hiding at all. So okay, you can't attack the girl, but you can attack this camera person. You know. But that's because I took it as the character, the camera man or woman is supposed to be a character of its own. But if it's not, then I guess my complaints about the camera person is null and void. But I can still complain about the girl not being attacked though.
Yeah. Another part that like doesn't make sense is like the PA that loses his arm.
Oh yeah, why do you say that?
So like, to get him out of the factory that they're in.
Oh yeah.
He throws the arm outside. Like a zombie wouldn't go for the arm, he would go for you.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, okay.
The first time watching it, I was like, I guess this is their lore that they're going with, that they're playing hot potato with this guy's arm. Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's super fucking goofy. But yeah, I mean, the second half just turns more, like you said, it's goofy. It's more of a comedy with some splice of, I guess, the relationship of the director and his daughter and stuff mending by the end of it, because she kind of helps with the production too, saving the production.
Yeah, because the wife goes crazy, and then they end up knocking over the crane that they had for the final lift shot. And then because of that, they had to like keep stopping or like slowing down like the final scene,
the final like act. Yeah,
because they weren't like ready, because they were trying to form the human pyramid so that they could pass the camera up.
This shit was a shit show, man.
It really was.
Yeah, but
With Yamago, it was definitely a shit show.
oh yeah, for real. That's a good one. But this is one of those shit shows that when you're involved with it, it's something you look back with fond memories. Like, oh yeah, we did that, you know. And maybe when you see the final product with other people, you could like talk about, oh yeah, at that point, this is what was really going on in the background, you know. It just adds more to the lore, which makes it more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did really like that like final shot of like, because I think it ends up like the director is at the top and then the daughter ends up on his shoulders to finally like get the camera up as high as it needed to be for the shot.
Yeah.
And so like she shows him a picture of when they were little. He was like riding on her shoulders and no, she was riding on his
if
shoulders.
he was riding on the shoulder, she'll be dead.
She was riding on his shoulders and she was like holding a camera, so it kind of like a connection to like when they were younger. That whole that was really nice.
Yeah.
Like you said, a nice resolution.
The final scene was very weird to me.
Oh, yeah.
After that, because the way he smiles after he sees the picture was so strange. He's like shimmying before he smiles. I'm sorry, it just looks so funny. But you're about to say something.
The one thing I loved that they actually ended up doing is at the very end, I think it's like while the credits are rolling, they show footage of the actual production.
Yeah.
So it's like
Another
another
layer.
fucking layer.
Yeah.
And like, because it starts like zooming out, like everyone's done shooting or whatever, and like you see like the TV lines start coming up. I'm like, if there's another layer to this shit, like I'm done. But then it was just like them showing like actual behind the scenes of like them making the movie, and I was like, okay, this is actually like, it's pretty clever.
Yeah,
like
another layer, and it's even more fun. I don't know, it's really cool though, especially for people who are into film to just see how all this shit is done. And I was thinking, there's also another one more layer that could go into. I guess the people filming the production of the whole shit, but that would have been too much. But yeah, that was like a good stinger to see how it all was actually done.
Did you ever see Workaholics?
Yeah, a couple episodes here and there.
Oh, okay. Because I've only seen like bits and pieces of episodes, but there was like one where they were like, they were filming something, and he's like, "I'm filming the behind the scenes," and then there's like, "Well, I'm filming the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes."
Yeah, that's what I thought about with this shit, man. But there was one guy in the actual crew of the actual filming that this guy looked like he was going all the way in.
The guy who was actually the cameraman?
Yeah. That guy seemed like he was working his ass off.
They had to hand him a fucking cup of water. He like had to like quickly drink it because he was sprinting the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
And the super short, super short, like stocky dude, like the crazy hair. He the one that was like putting the blood.
Oh yeah,
guy. That guy, he seemed like he was working hard too, man.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, so they shot everything twice.
Yeah.
Because they had to sit there with actual production people and shoot the production, and then they had to go back and shoot like the
fake production.
Yeah, the fake
in movie production. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So it's like, man. Like that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Apparently, I was reading that it took 2 days for them to actually do the final cut of the movie, like the in movie like event. But they said they were actually done. They actually shot it perfectly their second go around, but there was an error with like camera issue, and they couldn't use it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it ended up taking like another day to finish, and I think this whole movie was done within a week. Like
really?
The filming, and they said this movie was super cheap to make. It looks like it too.
Yeah.
And it made a lot in return. I can't think of the exact number right now, but they said compared to how much it was filmed to make, it made like a huge profit. But yeah, seeing how much these people work, just for a small movie like this, because I don't even know if this made it to theaters. I think it's just made it to the Shudder app
Well, I mean,
in America at least.
I don't have a pulse on Japan pop culture,
Yeah.
so I don't know how well it did over there.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
yeah, over here it didn't. I didn't hear anything about it.
Same, yeah, same. But that's a hard. That must have been one. It must have been a fun set to be on, but at the same time, it looks very difficult to pull all this shit off. And I'm ready to give my rating, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you want to talk about anything else before.
Nah, anything from this point would just go towards my rating. So.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. I'll give it like 9 pound attacks out of 10. Yeah, pound. Because it was a movie that caught me off guard. Yes, you do have to hang in there for the first like 30 minutes because it's done on purpose. But I can see some people checking out prior. But if you make it, you see that there's like layers to this movie, and it's actually a very fun movie, very feel good, kind of similar to the last movie we did. What's it called? Peanut Butter Falcon. Yeah, it's very fun. If you're interested in films, I feel like this is something you should watch. And if you're in the world of film, like you do theater or you work in production, you're acting, this is a fun film to watch because maybe you've experienced it like Armando here, or and you could relate to it. And yeah, and it's so layered. For being a goofy movie, it's oddly layered. You know what I mean? If I could, and the acting is good, even though it's bad, but it's kind of done on purpose. Yeah, and the plot is good. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, and the momentum keeps going. And even though you do see the same things maybe twice, the second time you see it, it explains why the weird shit that you saw in the first time, why it's the way that it is, kind of like how we explained during the review. And I think it's very rewatchable for people like us. I don't know if I could recommend it to other people that... Yeah, I just don't know who I can recommend it to. I can only recommend it to people I know that are really into films and shit like this. The negatives I'll give it is just... I can't really give any negatives. I'll just be like I explained before, if you're trying to watch this movie, it's goofy as fuck, and try to just survive the first half because it's a movie that doesn't take itself seriously. You know, but yeah, that is my rating. What say you?
You gave it a 9.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were gonna go that high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, because I feel like the bad guy who's gonna come in here and like give it the low rating now.
Oh no, you're good.
I was gonna give this one, and I'm still gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
7 chokeouts to calm someone down.
Oh yeah.
Out of 10.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
with now.
Yeah, it's kind of related to my rating.
But yeah. Like you said, it's a movie that doesn't like take itself too seriously. And one thing that I will say as well is the part that's actually filmed, like the
Traditional filming,
yeah, the actual traditional filming,
like the production part of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when we're getting there, that part is actually like very professional, very well done, and stuff like that. You know, for the part of like, you know, the product that they create and stuff like that, of course it looks cheesy and there's stuff like that because they're trying to create a vibe there. But the camera work of the actual camera is capturing you know, what happens while they're on the set. Yeah, that camera work is actually really good. And I would be interested to see what their lighting setup looked like for a lot of their shots too, because you know, you've got all of this extra equipment that's not part of your production, or maybe it was. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell. Yeah. With a movie like this, you know, what's fake and what wasn't, because I know Yamago is like carrying around like the boom mic for part of it, and like and I was just like, did they give him stuff that like doesn't work? Or,
yeah, he doesn't do shit with it, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, like I said, it looked good. Everything looked good. It sounded good. and that was another thing too, is like the final product, that part, I was like, how did you get the sounds to sound so good in a live production? So that part was a little fantastical for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also like the plot of the whole, like, we're gonna film something. I already said it, basically the whole style of the film that they present him to shoot.
The whole premise.
Yeah. It's like that. I don't see a studio coming to a director and saying that, but I can't knock it too hard, because that is what creates the entirety of the story for the movie. So it's like, it's something you gotta just let go. If you're gonna enjoy the movie, you gotta let that part go. The acting, like we said, like, is, you would have to be really good to be like, okay, I'm gonna act like I'm acting, and then I'm gonna act like I'm turning off the acting because now I'm doing behind the scenes shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, you'd have to get people that are really good. I think everyone that was cast for this movie actually did a really good job. Like, very, very good comedic timing on everybody's parts to create these moments that are like supposed to look like they're just shit going wrong. It for it to like be fresh, and it doesn't look like someone pretending something's going wrong. It looks like some shit's actually like fucking going wrong. I think that was good. We can't knock the special effects because they're mimicking a production. So of course they're gonna look cheap. And even then they were like, you know, we know you can film stuff for cheap. So he is known for creating cheap productions. So like, they set all this up and you can't really knock any of the special effects stuff that they do. And it's really cool to see some of the stuff that they do. And because I personally, I don't know about you, but I like watching a lot of behind the scenes stuff for movies, and just seeing how they do different things, especially like the behind the scenes of the Saw movies were like a treasure trove for like horror fans, because they walked you through everything. Really, they were like, this is how we did this, we had these props, and this did this and all that. The behind the scenes on those movies is phenomenal. And that may be why that series is like so high in my regard. But yeah, so like, when they were showing how they did stuff for like their production part, where like she's like blowing the blood out of the thing or whatever, stuff like that, I was just like, okay, yeah, that's pretty dang cool. So yeah, I think that's about all I have to say on it, really. I think I listed all my positives and negatives.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm glad we're doing this. I think ever since we started our whole second season, we kind of made a pact to start doing more smaller films and shit like that, more obscure films. Yeah. And these are the type of things I had in mind.
We don't want to like dick ride the biggest movie of the time, you know. Because
everybody and their mom, they're going to review that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But stuff like this, this is stuff I want to not only expose for us to watch, but for our viewers. You know, make sure to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment if you've seen this movie, or if not, please go check this out. You know, we preach that these are the type of movies that people should go and see and kind of expand your palette.
Definitely support movies like this, because it's like, you know, it's it looked like it, like you said, it was a smaller, cheaper production. But it very effective at what they set out to do. So
and like you said, like, this is a movie that does not follow the formula at all when it comes to the shit. And that's something you always preach, you know, the formula. And yeah, definitely support movies like this, and make sure to also support us as well. But if there's nothing else to say, I guess we're out of here.
Yep, we'll see you guys next time.